Hello. Let's say that you struggle with time, with planning something, squeezing in everything at in the same schedule, and maybe some plans get diverted and canceled, postponed, or something else, and you struggle to figure out how to manage everything, or you're frustrated that everything gets ruined all the time and you can't get things done. Well, then this leads to all kinds of over planning, or maybe lack of planning. Then you don't really follow up on anything that you've decided on. So I've created a time tracking method that should help with that. So the method is actually an exercise, a time tracking exercise, and it's helped a lot to prevent depressions, stagnation, procrastination, and like thought clutter, and also overwhelm and rushing to complete goals, which is some things that I really struggled with in the past, and this method proved to be the best. Yet it's very simple and very effective, very powerful. Also, it's kind of innately built into people, so I think in most cases you do end up relying on this, but most people do it subconsciously, yet not intentionally. And I also have to mention that the method is called the feedback clock. Like I will often be either too early or too late to something, and I would never be able to be I'll never be able to be calm enough to be there on time, or a bit earlier than anything. And in that case, I found this method to be very helpful with adjusting, like being able to be aware of your attention span and adjusting your attention span. So it does help with measuring your attention span and helping optimize your productivity. I like using the method best just after I wake up after a good night of sleep, or when I actually need to shift mindset during the day. So that's the best time I like to use that, because it just has a very powerful effect of setting the pace of your day. Just sets the pace of your day. If you apply it that way, then you should feel the day fairly long. You should feel that things have been very productive and that you're fairly exhausted at the end of the day from all the work done. One more last thing to note is that if you're under depression and you use this method, then it will still help you, and it's a very good method for times when you have depression. But the thing is that the work done will be hard to do and hard to maintain, and you'll also have trouble with sleep, because you'll sleep for longer periods of time because you'll be more exhausted after the day ends. And normally that would be about 10 to 12 hours a night instead of the usual 8 hours, or maybe even, if you desire less sleep, some people sleep for about 6. Now then for the demonstration. So apparently I need still a list so that I can explain the steps and follow them through accurately. And first, I And all you need these tools. I have like a pen and a pencil and a coin and like a clock and a notebook and maybe another notebook to like an exercise book to pass time. A coin to pass time and a bunch of clocks. This like a I don't even know if I need this. This would actually ruin the measurement. This sound clock. It's a 10-minute sound clock. So I would actually have the key to the method is not being aware by any outside means how is time flowing, because you need to figure out how time is flowing inside your mind. In that case, you don't need to keep track of time from outside so that you can figure out what your internal world is. So we put this away. And I have a clock. And since we have a notebook, we're gonna note down time because, let's just avoid any errors. We have a clock, and the clock is showing, step one is the clock is showing 1912. 1912. Or if you do it like the other way, the 12-hour way, it's like 7:12 p.m. So this is a starting point. Let's say start. This is a start. So this is the time we begin tracking the time. So right now this is what the clock is showing. And we need an activity. We need an activity. We're gonna put the clock away because we don't want to cheat, right? We want to let time pass and figure out how time is flowing. We're going to put the clock away. So probably maybe underneath the table. Maybe. In any case, so I can't see it and I can't interfere with it. The clock keeps running, and I'm just doing some activity. I have no way of telling time in any case. Anyway. And we need an activity we need to let time pass, like to flow, and then while doing activity, we need to go back and check the time. How much time has passed? Is it more? Is it less time that has passed than you have predicted, or is it the exact same time that you have predicted? Because we need to predict how much time has passed before we get back to the clock, which is the key point here. So we're already at step 3, we've hidden the clock. Step 1, introduce the clock, measure the time. Step 2, let time pass and follow while doing activity without worrying about the time passing. That's the key thing. Don't worry about the time passing. Just work through the activity and let yourself guess how much time has passed based on that. This should be step 3 though. So let's just say that should be step 3, and step 3 should be step 2. So I should like hide the clock and step till then. Hide the clock and any means of keeping track of time from yourself. Stop thinking about time completely, and if you have trouble doing so, leave yourself a blocked off slot in your schedule in advance and repeat step 2 all over again. Step 4. After getting used to the activity and start to relax during the process, please stop and make an estimated guess of how much time has passed without knowing the current time. That's what we're gonna try and do here. And step 5 comes after I go back to the clock, and that's not gonna happen yet. So I'm gonna put this away, and I'm going to just do some stuff for a few minutes, and I'm gonna make a time lapse of this. So yeah, we're gonna make a time lapse of that, so it's not gonna be too boring. That was a tough one. Let's see. For the exercise, I probably wasted about 10 minutes, or maybe about up to 15. So yeah, I think that's the end of that. So we'll put this away, and then we go back to the list and check the time. Should be another extra 15 minutes for all of that. So estimate for after language exercise. From book. This is like, let's see, about 15 minutes or something. I'm not certain about that. Maybe about 15 minutes. Plus 15 minutes, so it would be about 6 plus 15, like 21 minutes extra, which means from 1918 I get like 15 extra. That's like, it would be 19 what? 31. 31. 31. No, second. 3. Oh my god, no. 33. Or 7:33 p.m. Alright, so this should be the final time, I guess. It's an estimate guess. So the clock should be showing 7:33 p.m. and let's check that. Now let me check. Go back to the tip. So go back to the same clock. This is like step number 5. We go back to the same clock from the beginning and check the estimated time interval from the start to finish. And it's important to note that you should always use the same clock, because every clock the clocks could be set differently, so you would be able to really figure out the true result from the same clock. I take back the clock and I check the time, and the time is 1949. I note it down. Real time. $19.49. Or 7:49 p.m. A lot more time passes. Like, compare the estimate, this is like, let's see. So if you have 49 minus 39, that's like a 33. That's 16 minutes off. That's like, maybe I was on point the first time, but maybe the exercise kind of took a lot of time. The exercise took a lot more time than I thought, and I just kind of slowed down, and then I kind of lose the accurate sense of time, so you actually kind of understand why it's important to tell time. And like, I haven't done this today yet. So far today I haven't done this before, so if you keep doing this a couple of times, it will change your mindset throughout the day, and you can actually be better and quicker and faster. You can tell the difference of time better, and so which means that you will be able to do your task quicker, and you will be able to do things a lot better. Now we decide whether the result of time perception is bigger, exact, or shorter. Bigger means time is slipping away and thinking is slow. In this case, we have another 16 minutes extra, which means time is slipping away. Like, if it would be exact, then it means that time would be in sync. Thinking is in synergy with time. And if time is shorter, I mean, if the estimate is shorter than the real time, then time is passing quite slow, and thinking is much quicker, which means that more things can be done, but this is usually rare, unless everything is already trained from before. Yeah, the outcome of the exercise determines the outcome, determines the thinking speed and the attention. And we have like step number 7, which is the last step. Repeat the method as many times as necessary until reaching the desired result. And last but not least, in general, the shorter the time limit of each repetition, the better are the results. Concentration and results get deeper with repetitions. The time limit is a quick period of productivity, and after the timer runs out, take a break, reflect on the experience, and then repeat. I do feel there's a piece missing here, I think. Actually, this is probably it. This is a measurement exercise. This is not an exercise for strength. This is a measurement exercise. So yeah, this is a measurement exercise. So is time on our side or against us? Well, it could be either or neither. It just comes down to how people accept their own lives and what comes of it. So it's essentially all about balance, and by balance I mean that you have to adjust your deficiencies in regard to what you already have in abundance in your own life. And it's just basically the mere thoughts that people have that determine how people think about their own time in their own lives. So it's basically some kind of a predetermined effect. It's like it's an already predetermined opinion and mindset. Basically a closed mindset. Think of the method as a car's gearbox. One gear goes forward, the other gear goes in reverse, and there's also a neutral position for the neutral position. And some people think too far forward and keep planning too far forward, or for example, they just delay things and they postpone things. And then there's like some scheduling issues that arise, and the third state is if everything is in sync and in the present. So normally the method is good for speeding up thinking and for slowing down thinking depending on the situation. There's this midway cross point, and which is basically the neutral position. The only change required for this to work is to adapt your mind when it's required to be in harmony with time so that you can get your work done every day and pass your day for every single day. And it's also important to mention that if you use this method when you're completely exhausted, so for example at the end of the day, then you will have no energy left, and if you apply the method, you will quickly notice that immediately you lose time. Time slips away, and like you just cannot focus well enough. You cannot pay attention well enough. So the answer there is obvious, that you don't have any energy and you can't get any energy from anywhere. The only exception is food, but that's a very temporary solution. Sleep is a much better solution. So to sum it all up, the method allows you to set the pace of your day every day, to notice your thinking speed, to notice also whether you're paying attention or not, and also to restore access to fluid intelligence, since there is moments where you will have impaired thinking and you will not notice at all, but that's when your fluid intelligence drops. And when you start thinking about time and increasing the pace, that's when you actually start to start to increase your power over fluid intelligence. And for anyone that's actually consuming a lot of digital info, the thing is that scientists have recently discovered that the human brain can only process about 10 bits per second. And a modern day smartphone can process about 64 bits per second, which is quite a lot more. It's more than 6 times than the human brain, and that's just a very big significant difference. You will never be able to learn or understand all the information that is out there ever. Not all at once, and not in a single day or anything like that. Some of the factors that are responsible for faulty time perception are definitely mental health disorders, dementias, low quantity of oxygen in the blood, in the bloodstream, and hormonal changes. It's also worth knowing whether there is any sleep deprivation or not. And another factor is sleep quality, and yeah, for example, also if there is any oxygen depletion, this also includes hydration. So if you need to drink water, you should regularly. And there's also, if there's any lack of energy. So lack of energy usually comes from lack of sleep. And that's usually the main culprit of that. And I think that's pretty much it. Sums it all up. If you enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up, and I would enjoy hearing any of your opinions in the comment section.